The world stood still, yet everything changed. The world outside the barbed wire fences faded into a distant memory, a life that felt like a dream. Inside the concentration camps, time warped and twisted, days blurring into an endless cycle of hunger, fear, and despair. The air hung heavy with the stench of sickness and death, a constant reminder of the fragility of life. Hope, once a beacon in the darkest nights, dwindled under the oppressive weight of cruelty. Each day began with the chilling roll call, a ritual that underscored the prisoners' powerlessness. Guards barked orders, their faces contorted in a mask of indifference to the suffering around them. Every inmate, stripped of their name and identity, became a mere number, another cog in the brutal machinery of the camp. The world outside, with its laughter, its love, its simple joys, seemed impossibly distant. Yet even in this abyss of despair, the human spirit flickered. Acts of kindness, whispers of encouragement, and shared moments of camaraderie became small but powerful acts of defiance against the crushing weight of oppression. These flickers of humanity, hidden within the heart of darkness, illuminated the resilience of the human soul. The camps were a microcosm of a world gone mad. Families were torn apart, their bonds severed by the cold logic of hate. Children, robbed of their innocence, witnessed horrors no child should ever see. Culture, language, and religion, the pillars of individual identity, were systematically targeted for eradication. The Nazis sought not only to control the physical bodies of their prisoners, but to crush their spirits, their very essence. Work, often backbreaking and pointless, filled the endless hours. Prisoners labored under the watchful eyes of guards, their bodies pushed to the limits of endurance. The meager rations, barely enough to sustain life, left inmates perpetually hungry, their bodies slowly wasting away. Disease, a constant threat, spread rapidly through the cramped and unsanitary barracks. But even amidst this brutal reality, life, in its most basic forms, persisted. Prisoners clung to memories of the world they had lost, sharing stories of their past lives in hushed tones. They found solace in small acts of resistance, in secret moments of prayer, in the shared dream of a future beyond the barbed wire. The will to survive, to cling to hope even in the darkest hours, is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Within the concentration camps, amidst the unimaginable suffering, stories of incredible courage and resilience emerged. Prisoners, stripped of their possessions and their dignity, found strength in their shared humanity. Acts of kindness, small but profound, became lifelines in a sea of despair. A shared crust of bread, a whispered word of encouragement, a moment of shared laughter. These acts of defiance, invisible to the eyes of their captors, affirmed the prisoners' humanity. These stories, passed down through generations, serve as powerful reminders of the enduring power of the human spirit. The camps were not just places of death and despair. They were also places where the human spirit, in its most raw and vulnerable form, shone through. These stories of resilience, of courage in the face of unimaginable adversity, offer a glimmer of hope in the darkest chapters of human history. Newly unearthed diaries and letters, hidden for decades, offer a fresh perspective on life inside the camps. These first-hand accounts, written in whispers and hidden from the prying eyes of guards, provide intimate glimpses into the emotional landscape of the prisoners. They reveal the inner struggles, the moments of despair, but also the flickers of hope that sustained them. One such diary, recently discovered in the attic of a former prisoner, chronicles the daily life of a young woman in Auschwitz. Her words, etched in pencil on scraps of paper, paint a vivid picture of the camp's horrors, but also reveal her unwavering spirit. She writes of her longing for her family, her dreams of a future beyond the camp, and her determination to hold on to her humanity. These personal accounts, often overlooked in the grand narratives of history, offer a powerful counterpoint to the official records. They remind us that behind the statistics, behind the cold, hard numbers, lie individual stories of suffering, resilience, and hope. Liberation, when it finally came, was a moment of both joy and disbelief. For many, the years spent in the camps had left an indelible mark, both physically and emotionally. The world they returned to was no longer the world they had known. Families had been torn apart, homes lost, and the scars of trauma ran deep. But even in the face of unimaginable loss, the survivors rebuilt their lives. They found solace in their shared experiences, in the knowledge that they were not alone in their pain. They became voices for the voiceless, sharing their stories to ensure that the world never forgot the horrors they had endured. The resilience of the survivors is a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Their stories serve as a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human will to survive, to rebuild, to hope can never be extinguished. The history of the Holocaust is often shrouded in myths and misconceptions. These distortions, sometimes unintentional, sometimes deliberate, can obscure the reality of the camps and diminish the suffering of the victims. It is crucial to address these misconceptions and to present a clear and accurate account of what transpired. One common misconception is that all Jews were sent to concentration camps. While Jews were the primary target of Nazi persecution, other groups, including Roma, homosexuals, political dissidents, and people with disabilities, were also imprisoned and murdered. The camps were a manifestation of a hateful ideology that sought to eliminate anyone deemed undesirable by the Nazi regime. Another misconception is that all prisoners in the camps were passive victims. While the overwhelming power of the Nazi regime made organized resistance difficult, acts of individual and collective defiance did occur. Prisoners risked their lives to sabotage camp operations, to share information, and to maintain their dignity in the face of oppression. Remembering the Holocaust is not simply a matter of historical record, it is a moral imperative. The stories of the survivors, their courage, their resilience, and their suffering must be preserved and shared to prevent such atrocities from happening again. These stories serve as a powerful reminder of the dangers of intolerance, hatred, and unchecked power. Education plays a crucial role in combating Holocaust denial and distortion. By teaching future generations about the horrors of the past, we can equip them with the knowledge and critical thinking skills necessary to challenge prejudice and discrimination. We must ensure that the voices of the survivors continue to be heard, their stories serving as a warning from history. The act of remembering is not simply about the past, it is about shaping a future where such horrors are never repeated. By honoring the memory of the victims, by learning from their experiences, we can work towards a world where human dignity and respect for all are paramount. The Holocaust, a dark chapter in human history, stands as a stark reminder of the fragility of civilization and the depths of human cruelty. Yet amidst the unimaginable suffering, the stories of the survivors offer a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Their courage, their determination to survive, and their unwavering hope in the face of despair serve as an inspiration to us all. The legacy of the survivors extends far beyond the confines of the camps. Their stories have shaped our understanding of human nature, of the capacity for both great evil and great good. They have challenged us to confront prejudice, to fight for justice, and to never forget the lessons of the past. The survivors, in their resilience and their determination to rebuild their lives, have shown us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can endure. Their stories remind us that hope, compassion, and the unwavering belief in the inherent goodness of humanity can ultimately triumph over hate. As time passes and the generation of survivors dwindles, the responsibility to remember and to educate falls upon us. We must carry their stories forward, ensuring that the lessons of the Holocaust are not forgotten. We must challenge Holocaust denial and distortion, combating attempts to rewrite history and to downplay the suffering of the victims. The fight against intolerance and discrimination is ongoing. We must be vigilant in identifying and confronting prejudice in all its forms. We must teach future generations to recognize the warning signs of hatred and to stand up for the rights of all people. The echoes of the Holocaust continue to resonate today, reminding us of the importance of empathy, compassion, and the unwavering belief in the sanctity of human life. By honoring the memory of the victims and by learning from the survivors, we can ensure that the light of hope, kindled in the darkest of times, continues to illuminate our path towards a brighter future.